This is for the ones who actually want to understand why Bitcoin keeps getting called digital gold, why the people who hold it the longest tend to win the biggest, and the one mental shift almost nobody talks about, the one that separates someone who panics out of a position from someone who doesn't. Three things, no hype, just mechanics. Fact 1: there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. Not a marketing promise. Code, hard capped, enforced by every node on the network, verifiable by anyone who wants to check it themselves. Right now, over 19.7 million of these coins are already mined. The remaining supply trickles out slower every 4 years. Compare that to the currency sitting in your bank account. Central banks can expand that supply whenever they decide to. There's no hard cap, no code enforcing scarcity, just policy which can change. Gold has been humanity's scarce store of value for 5,000 years because no one could figure out how to make more of it. Bitcoin did something gold never could. It made scarcity provable, portable, and impossible to counterfeit. That's not an opinion, that's the protocol. That's why they call it digital gold, because it's finite and everyone can verify it. Here's where most people stop understanding money. They think money is just stuff that's worth something. It's more specific than that. Before money existed, trade required something economists call the coincidence of wants. If I have a fish and I want shoes, I have to find someone who has shoes and also wants fish. At the exact same time, in the exact same place, that's incredibly rare, and it's why barter economies stayed small and inefficient. Money exists to solve that problem, and how well something solves it comes down to one property: sellability, how easily an asset can be sold at any time without losing value in the process. There are three dimensions to sellability, and this is the part almost nobody breaks down properly. Sellable across scale. Can you divide it into small units and combine it into larger ones without losing value? A gold bar is hard to split for a cup of coffee. Bitcoin divides into 100 million units per coin, down to the Satoshi. You can transact for a fraction of a cent or a fraction of $1 billion on the same network with the same rules. Sellable across space. Can you move it easily, anywhere without loss? Try moving $1 million in gold across a border. Now compare that to sending $1 million in Bitcoin across the planet in minutes for a fee that doesn't care how large the amount is. You can sell your Bitcoin from America to someone in Japan or Russia. Doesn't matter. Sellable across time. Does it hold its value while you wait? This is the one still being tested. Gold has millennia of proof. Bitcoin has a decade and a half, but a decade and a half of outperforming almost every other asset class on Earth through multiple crashes, multiple death headlines, and multiple recoveries to new highs. Scale, space, time. Bitcoin isn't the first asset to be scarce, it's one of the first to be scarce and maximally stable across all three dimensions at once. That combination is rare. Historically, assets with that combination become money. Now, here's the part nobody puts in a thumbnail because it's not about charts, it's about you. Picture two people. Both are at 50% on their Bitcoin position. Identical percentage gain, identical asset, identical timing. The only difference is the size of the position underneath that percentage. The first person has $2,000 in the trade. 50% up means $1,000 of profit. And here's the part that sounds backwards until you sit with it. That gain doesn't feel like enough. $1,000 isn't life changing, so instead of taking it, they start thinking about the next 50%. They get greedy, they hold, hoping the position turns into something that actually matters, and in doing that, they give the market every opportunity to take the gain back before they ever lock in. They get greedy, they hold, hoping the position turns into something that actually matters, and in doing that, they give the market every opportunity to take the gain back before they ever lock it in. The second person has $500,000 in the same trade, at the same 50%. $1 million, $250,000 of profit. That number doesn't need to grow to feel real. It already changes what's possible for their life. So when the position is 50%, they don't hesitate. They sell, they lock it in, and they walk away satisfied. Not because they're smarter, because the size of the position made the decision easy. Same percentage, same asset, completely different psychology. and the psychology is dictated entirely by position size. This is the part almost nobody says out loud. Greed isn't really about being greedy, it's about the position being too small to feel like a win. If $2,000 felt like 500,000, that person would sell at 50% too. So the real strategy isn't predicting when to sell, it's sizing the position before you enter so that when the win comes, it already feels big enough to take. That's the hidden strategy. Think like the man with the $500,000 position, even when your position is $2,000. Size it so that when the gain shows up, you're not tempted to gamble it away, chasing a number that would have already satisfied you if you had sized it right from the start. This is it for this video. See you in the next one.